I never imagined my life would spiral out of control with just one conversation. But there I was, sitting across from the woman I married, the woman I thought I knew, and she was asking me to do the unthinkable. She wanted an open marriage. The words hung in the air between us, thick with the weight of betrayal. Yet, she spoke so casually, so calmly, as though it was the most natural thing in the world. Her eyes met mine, searching for my reaction. But what she didn't know was that inside my world was collapsing. I wanted to shout, to demand an explanation, to call her out on her hypocrisy. But instead, I stayed silent, taking in the shock, the disbelief. I was too stunned to speak. "I think it would make us stronger, you know," she said, her voice soft but insistent. "We'd both be free to explore, be ourselves." She was trying to sell it to me, trying to convince me that this would somehow benefit our marriage. But how could it? How could sleeping with other people bring us closer? How could I watch the woman I loved share herself with other men and not feel like I was losing her? But I didn't say anything. I was too numb, too hurt to voice my true feelings. Instead, I nodded, barely able to process what she had just asked of me. "If that's what you want," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. I had no idea what I was agreeing to. I didn't know how deep the rabbit hole would go or how much it would change me. But I knew one thing for certain. It was going to change everything between us. In the days that followed, I became a prisoner to my own mind. I couldn't stop thinking about what she had said. I tried to push it aside and as a test size, to convince myself that maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought. But the more I thought about it, the more it ate away at me. The thought of her with other men, touching her, kissing her, holding her, those images burned into my brain, and I couldn't shake them. And then something inside me snapped. If she was going to have this freedom, why couldn't I? Why should she be the only one to explore outside our marriage? Why should I sit on the sidelines watching her live out her fantasies, while I stayed confined to the life we had built together? I was no longer the passive husband in this arrangement. If she could have an open marriage, then I would too. But I would do it on my own terms. I started with one woman. She was different from my wife, more spontaneous, more willing to take risks. She gave me the attention I was craving, the attention I hadn't felt in so long. Her touch, her laughter, her smile. It was intoxicating. And for a while, I felt alive again. But one woman wasn't enough. I needed more. I craved more. I wanted to experience everything she had told me about. And so I found another woman, and then another, and then a fourth. Each one filled a different void in me. Some gave me excitement, others gave me affection, but none of them filled the emptiness I had inside. At first, it felt like I was getting what I had been denied, like I was finally taking control of my life. I was in control, not her. But soon, the weight of the lies began to settle on my shoulders. I had become just like her, chasing something outside our marriage, seeking validation and excitement from others, but never feeling truly fulfilled. The truth is, I wasn't happy. I wasn't more free. I wasn't more fulfilled. I was empty, hollowed out by the choices I had made. The more I chased these other women, the further I drifted from my wife, and the more I realized that what I had done, what we had both done, was destroying the very foundation of our relationship. But the breaking point came one evening when I was with a fourth woman, and I realized something that stopped me dead in my tracks. It wasn't her that I was missing. It wasn't the thrill of being with someone new or the excitement of a forbidden connection. It was my wife. I missed her. I missed the woman I had married, the woman I had promised to love and cherish. I missed the life we had built together. And yet, here I was standing on the edge of a cliff, looking down into a world I had created that I no longer recognized. I couldn't undo the choices I had made. I couldn't take back the hurt I had caused both to her and to myself. But I knew one thing. I had to face the consequences of my actions. I had to confront the truth that I had been running from. I had to stop pretending that this was just a phase, that everything would go back to normal once the excitement wore off. The next day, I sat down with my wife. I had no idea what to say to her, how to explain what had happened, how to tell her that I had taken 4 women in the name of freedom, but had only lost myself in the process. But I knew I had to say something. "I'm sorry," I began, my voice shaky. "I never meant for any of this to happen. I thought I was getting back at you, but all I've done is destroy us." She didn't say anything at first. Her eyes were filled with sadness, with hurt that I couldn't deny. She had already known, of course. She knew the moment I stopped hiding my phone, the moment I started staying out late, that something was wrong. But now we were both standing in the wreck of what was once a marriage. "You wanted freedom," I said softly. "But I see now that it doesn't come without a price." She nodded, tears welling in her eyes. "I wanted to fix us," she whispered. "But we've both broken something that can't be fixed." And in that moment, I realized that we had both made mistakes. We had both hurt each other, both taken what wasn't ours to take, and now we were left with the consequences. We had both wanted freedom, but we had lost ourselves in the process. I don't know what the future holds for us. I don't know if we can rebuild what we once had, or if we'll walk away from each other for good. But what I do know is that everything changed when I took 4 women in the name of freedom. And in the end, I learned the hardest lesson of all. Freedom doesn't come without consequences.